So for me, it was my nan, and it was just little things along the way. At the start, were just she'd start forgetting things here and there, and she'd repeat herself. And I didn't see my nan all that often, with obviously being up in Newcastle. But whenever I spoke to her on the phone, it was repeat questions and, "Oh, when am I going to see you next on TV?" And it was just I'd answered that question 3 or 4 times in the same phone call. And it was more, I noticed it more with my mum. So my mum dealt with it hands-on initially before they got help. And every visit, my mum was just like carrying a little bit more and more weight, because she was dealing with the burden of that. Although it's not nice to give it that label, because it's family, it does wear on people. I don't think anyone wants to label it, because it seems like the start of an end. Because unfortunately with this, like it does end terribly. So it's kind of light-hearted to start with. Just your nan's going a bit crazy, or oh, your nan was a bit nasty today, or just something light. And as time went on, like those like light-hearted jokes got a little bit more serious, because the outcomes become a little bit more nasty and whatever. But I think that's the hardest thing, because you know that person for years, and you know how loving and caring they can be. And over the course of 2 years, 3 years, or even shorter in some cases, it can change who they are. But you've just got to keep remembering, like, deep down, that loving, kind person you've always known, for me as a kid. And cherish all those memories. Yeah, you feel helpless, because so I could see my mum getting like visibly more and more upset. Obviously for me it was my nan as well. But as time was going on, and nan was starting to forget more and more things, and mum was dealing with it firsthand, you could just see the toll it was taking on her. And because I was so far away, and there's nothing you can do for it, there's no cure. It just seemed like an endless like horror movie. Seeing how my mum was taking it, and it didn't matter what she did for my nan, she got the backlash. And obviously my nan didn't know what was going on. She didn't know she was being nasty. She didn't know she was saying what she was saying, or who she was forgetting. Just my mum took the brunt of it. That's a big thing with dementia, is it's not a blanket disease. Like obviously I'm no expert, but with us it was forget information about you, know everything about you. And I think that took a big toll on my mum, because my mum was dealing with it day to day, was in the firing line. She had some information forgotten about her, but other people would have other information remembered about them, and it was just like, in my mum's eyes, she was dealing with it and she wasn't getting that reward back for it. So like I said, it was just all about touching on, just remember what she's done for us as a family before she fell ill. Like my nan would do anything for us. So like you just returning that favour. Obviously you feel guilt maybe sending someone to a care home, because you feel like they've cared for me when I was growing up, and now want to return the favour. But it's too much of a burden, I feel. And I don't like using the word burden, but there's no other label really. I feel like talking helped a lot, and eventually when we got nan into a care home, I think that lifted a lot of weight off my mum's shoulders, because she didn't have to go every day and in some cases be abused every day, like verbally. She could take a day or two away, gather herself and go back, and still check in with her over the phone. She could check in with the staff and ask how nan was doing, just so she wasn't also getting that pressure. I think the taboo's to do with like you're opening like Pandora's box, so to speak. Like if you go down that label of like dementia or Alzheimer's or whatever, you're putting an end to someone. I think although it might not necessarily take 2-3 months, 6 months, 5 years, whatever, I feel like you're putting a finish line for someone. I feel like that's where people don't want to get that label and seek that help as early as they can, because if you get that label, then you get all the problems that come with it. It's almost like brushing it under the carpet and just like, we'll deal with that later once it's actually bad. But I feel this applies to many walks of life. If you speak up and speak early, you can get help. You can get some help to maybe like delay the onset. I just, like I said, it works with anything, especially this. Like, seek help, speak early.